Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? We have just now received breaking news from some inside sources of a massive explosion just the northeastern portion of Damascus. Now, this is an area that's controlled by Hezbollah, and it's been an incredible explosion there. And I'm going to tell you more about this now, and who all was targeted, who may be behind this. This just happened, and we have inside information. You're not even going to find this anywhere in the media, yet it just is now happening. We've got inside info. Let me first put out a shout, though, if I could, to noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Colin Plume, it's a Christian company. They're family-owned. Great, great people. And some of you might be concerned about your 401k or your retirement plan. You should pick up the phone Monday morning and call Colin Plume at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. And tell Colin that you're interested in maybe diversifying your retirement funds, your 401k that you have. Put some of it in precious metals, in what he would call, set up for you, a gold IRA. And if you qualify and you do that, he'll give you this beautiful American Eagle 1/10 of an ounce pure American Eagle gold coin. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous collective piece. Comes in this beautiful little case. It's from the U.S. Mint, and it's 1/10 of an ounce of pure gold. He'll give this to you for free, and I tell you what, it'd be a great addition to your collection. Okay, all right. All right, now the Bible talks about the destruction of Damascus, and you can find that a prophecy about it in Isaiah chapter 17, verse 1. But it's also in Jeremiah chapter 49. I'd like to show you both of these prophecies because they both are in reference to Damascus. And the thing about it is, the destruction of Damascus is prophesied to happen in Jeremiah 49. And also in the same chapter, Jeremiah prophesies the major decimation of the nation of Iran, basically the area called Elam back then. It was all known as Elam. Daniel calls it the land of Persia. It's also known as the land of Babylon area. Okay, so we again start talking about Mystery Babylon. You need to understand the Old Testament prophecies that have yet to be fulfilled. That's why Mystery Babylon will be going down. But before I tell you about that, let's share with you what happened here. I have some inside information. I want to read that now, and I'm not going to reveal this source, but there's been a big blast, a massive explosion was heard and seen in northeastern portion of Damascus at a weapons storage facility, But these weapons are being stored there by the 20th Brigade of the Syrian Army's 3rd Division. Now, this is President Assad's, really the strongest army he has is his 20th Brigade. So if the weapons storage facility for his most important, strongest Syrian army's weapons has just been massively destroyed northeast of Damascus, then and here's something to think about. This area and that area is known to be in a complete Hezbollah control. But right now, it feels like, even though President Bashar al-Assad supposedly 2 days ago won his presidential election with 95% of the vote, which is a farce. It's really the biggest joke on earth. It sounds to me like that there's people involved now in trying to maybe take Assad out of power. You have to wonder, are the Russians involved in this? Because if Assad doesn't want to be Putin's puppet, Putin will get rid of Assad. Now, it may be that it's not Russia, and it's possible that the Iranians could be saying, we've had enough of Assad. We're taking over Syria. Because meanwhile, Iran is working very hard to take over Baghdad. We reported on that earlier this morning. They're working very hard to try to take over Baghdad over in Iraq. I have always said that what Iran wants to do, and maybe will do, is they want to not only take over Iraq, but they want to take over Syria as well, so they can get in full position to make their apocalyptic run at Israel, which, by the way, you can find in the book of Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39 in the Battle of Gog and Magog. But let me read to you what it says in the book of Jeremiah. Check this out, Jeremiah 49. In verse 23, the Bible says, concerning Damascus, Hamath is confounded and Arpad, for they have heard evil tidings. They are faint-hearted. There is sorrow on the sea. It cannot be quiet. Damascus is waxed feeble, and turneth herself to flee. And fear has seized on her. Anguish and sorrows have taken her as a woman in travail. How is the city of praise not left, the city of my joy? Therefore her young men shall fall in her streets, and all the men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord of hosts. Now, this would be the Syrian 20th Brigade, the best army unit that Assad has, men of war, being cut off in that day, saith the Lord of hosts. And I will kindle a fire in the wall of Damascus. Now, to go along with this prophecy, this is Jeremiah 49, 23 through 27. If you go to Isaiah chapter 17, verse 1, behold, the Damascus is in, well, let me read it, because now I'm about ready to, I'm going to start misquoting and stuttering, and I don't want to do that. So let me just read it. The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. Guys, these are two prophecies that certainly the prophet Isaiah and the prophet Jeremiah certainly know what they're talking about. But in the same chapter, in Jeremiah chapter 49, there's another prophecy. It's not just Damascus, it's Iran too. So look, do you see how it's coming together? Isaiah 17, Jeremiah 49. Now look at this. After the destruction, during this same time period that Damascus is being destroyed, Elam gets destroyed, or Iran. Here's what it says in verse 35. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might. I will break their leadership, in other words. And upon Elam will I bring the four winds from the four quarters of heaven, and will scatter them toward all those winds, and there shall be no nation, whether the outcast of Elam shall not come. It is going to be, it's going to scatter the Iranian people all over the earth. For I will cause Elam, or Iran, to be dismayed before their enemies and before them that seek their life. And I will bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, saith the Lord. And I will send the sword after them till I have consumed them. And I will set my throne in Elam, and will destroy from thence the king of the prince, saith the Lord. But it shall come to pass in the latter days. This is when this prophecy is going to be fulfilled. Even though Jeremiah prophesied it, it's to happen in the last days. And to prove that, Iran's never been defeated. They've never been defeated. They're still there. So it shall come to pass in the latter days that I will bring again the captivity of Elam, saith the Lord. So it's going to happen in the last days, and it's setting up perfectly for that right now. So I want to keep you aware of the events taking place It's a massive explosion has taken place at a weapons depot over there just in the northeastern part of Damascus. Again, I'll read my inside information. It says big blast was heard northeast of Damascus at the weapons storage facilities of the 20th Brigade of the Syrian Army's 3rd Division. That area is known to be a complete Hezbollah control, but the Syrian Army, the 20th Brigade and the 3rd Division is the elitist of President Assad's army. It didn't destroy them, but it destroyed their weapons depot, and that is huge. So I'm just letting you know this is a prophecy alert. We're living in the last days. Please give your life to Jesus Christ. Don't be left behind. Listen to me what I'm telling you. I'm going to thank almost 1,300 of you who have spontaneously showed up here again for the second time in the last half hour. Thank you for being a student, being very astute to the situation that we're living in now, the end times. And I'll be at Community Gospel Baptist Church tomorrow. Services begin at 12 noon Eastern or 11 a.m. Central. So I'll be getting up to preach about an hour later. I'm going to see if Heidi will broadcast my sermon on this YouTube channel if we can pull that off. Okay, so keep your eyes open and be looking for it. All right, God bless you from the cornfields of Indiana, here in the Salvation Station under renovation. Are you serious? God bless all of you. What? Are you saved? You better hurry.